Hello and welcome to a new video of FMTTM Future of Finance. Today we're going to be talking about ETFs and mutual funds, two popular investment options. We will be comparing the performance of these investment vehicles by looking at the top 5 ETFs and top 5 mutual funds based on average annual returns, and help you decide which one is the better choice for you. Before we get into today's video, I just want to take a moment to remind you that investing always carries some level of risk, and it's important to do your own research and consult with a financial professional before making any investment decisions. This video is for educational purposes only and is not intended to be investment advice. First, let's start with ETFs, or exchange-traded funds. ETFs are a type of investment fund that trades on stock exchanges, just like stocks. They're made up of a basket of different securities, such as stocks, bonds, or commodities. One of the biggest advantages of ETFs is their low expense ratios, which are the fees that are taken out of your investment to cover the fund's expenses. ETFs typically have lower expense ratios than mutual funds. ETFs also offer more flexibility than mutual funds. You can buy and sell ETFs throughout the trading day, just like stocks, whereas mutual funds are only priced once per day at the market close. And because ETFs are traded on an exchange, you can also use trading strategies such as limit orders, stop losses, and short selling, which are not possible with mutual funds. Next, let's talk about mutual funds. Mutual funds are also a type of investment fund, but they're not traded on stock exchanges. Instead, they're bought and sold at the end of the trading day at the net asset value, NAV, price. One of the main advantages of mutual funds is that they're typically managed by professional money managers. This means that the fund's investments are actively managed and monitored, which can potentially lead to better returns. Mutual funds also offer a level of diversification that can be difficult to achieve on your own. So, how do ETFs and mutual funds compare when it comes to performance? One way to assess performance is to look at the average annual returns of the top funds in each category. Here are the top 5 ETFs based on average annual returns. Invesco QQQ ETF tracks the performance of the Nasdaq 100 index and has an average annual return of over 20%. SPDR S&P 500 ETF tracks the performance of the S&P 500 index and has an average annual return of over 15%. iShares Russell 2000 ETF tracks the performance of the Russell 2000 index of small-cap stocks and has an average annual return of over 13%. iShares MSCI EF ETF tracks the performance of developed markets outside of the US and Canada and has an average annual return of over 11%. iShares MSCI Emerging Markets ETF tracks the performance of emerging markets and has an average annual return of over 10%. Similarly, here are the top 5 mutual funds based on average annual returns. Fidelity Contrafund, an actively managed fund that invests in a variety of growth stocks and has an average annual return of over 20%. T. Rowe Price Equity Income Fund, an actively managed fund that invests in stocks of companies that pay dividends and has an average annual return of over 15%. American Funds Growth Fund of America, an actively managed fund that invests in a variety of growth stocks and has an average annual return of over 14%. Vanguard 500 Index Fund tracks the performance of the S&P 500 index and has an average annual return of over 13%. Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund tracks the performance of the entire US stock market and has an average annual return of over 12%. As you can see, both ETFs and mutual funds have their advantages and can provide solid returns. However, it's important to remember that past performance is not necessarily indicative of future performance. Thanks for watching. Now you are familiar with ETFs and mutual funds. We hope you found it informative and helpful in understanding the differences between these two investment options. As a reminder, both ETFs and mutual funds have their advantages and can provide solid returns. However, it's important to remember that past performance is not necessarily indicative of future performance. It's always a good idea to do your own research and consult with a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. If you have any other topics you'd like us to cover, please let us know in the comments below. We'd also love to hear what your top ETF pick is, so please share that in the comments as well. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share to help our channel grow. We appreciate your support and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.